Whoosh.
Whoosh indeed.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Very cool show today.
Yeah.
We are talking about the solo leveling movie, Solo Leveling ReAwakening. Ooh. This is kind of a trend we've seen recently, especially the Demon Slayer movies have been doing it, where basically it'll be a film that you can see in a theater, but it'll be essentially a synopsis, sort of like recut of the first season, and then they played the two new episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
And so, first things first, I think we both left this going like, if we had never seen season 1 of Solo Leveling, this would have been a terribly confusing experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, the thing about it is that it is absolutely made for people that watched the first season to remind you of what happened.
Yeah.
Like, they go through things very quickly. They play the things that are most relevant to the first 2 episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
But they don't really go into the explanations of things in a way that would be coherent for anyone that wasn't totally familiar with the show.
And I think in a way that, frankly, like, I don't think there's any excuse for. Like, I can see somebody being like, no, but, it's like, that's what this is for. But it's like, I don't think that's enough. I think, like, because for me, I was hoping they would open up when, he's like, he first gets there from the first episode of the portal, everyone's making fun of him, and then boom, 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 like, when he gets killed, then he gets like, there is a 10-minute version that intros this story that they could have done that I think would have been great for someone who has never seen Solo Leveling.
Let's not forget they made the mistake of episode 6.5. That was essentially a recap of the first 6 episodes.
I know, they make a lot of poor choices.
But my point is that they took 24 minutes did a recap of the first 6 episodes.
Oh my god! Imagine if they just played episode 6.5 and then a little extra, and then that people would have gone ballistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think probably would have. And it's funny you mention that because they nerfed themselves with episode 6.5. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. Maybe you're right. Maybe that was a response. Maybe there was a plan to do it a little closer to the way they did it there. Yeah. And they're like, no, people will kill us.
But yeah, I think it would have made more sense, especially because this is a season 1 into season 2 thing. If they had there are some people that are just going to pick up a thing when they decide to pick it up. They're not going to necessarily start with the first season, which is weird, but some people are weird.
Well,
and so I think like having something like this where you have the opportunity to give them a good overview of season 1, like that isn't entirely confusing to someone that doesn't know it. Like it could have been so beneficial.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's kind of my biggest qualm with it.
Yeah.
But what they did do, which was cool, is if you've seen it, they basically showcase like the 3 coolest fights in the first season, especially like that one fight where he fights the spider and then the guys who trapped him and the other guy, and then he ends up killing them. Like they did a really good job of like showcasing those like moments you really remember.
Yeah.
But I think the other issue I have is that a lot of the stuff I really love from Solo Leveling, it is like how his character changes. It's like one of the reasons I love Godfather, the film Godfather, especially the first one, is like the character arc of Michael Corleone is so interesting.
Absolutely. How
he goes from this kind of like, good guy to like, a bad guy by the end. And that's kind of what's going on in Solo Leveling to a certain extent.
Yeah, we don't know, what his personality is going to be like or how he's going to take this. But there is a darker side that comes out in the first season that like starts to evolve, and they threw in a line here and there like, there goes another one of my emotions, like, but they don't really sort of delve into it. And like, and there was a great scene in the first season where he's he's been powered up a lot, and there's a guy like that he doesn't want to like talk about the powers that
the guy from the
association.
Yeah, the association, yeah.
And he, like, does something that's kind of sinister-ish. It
totally
doesn't hurt the guy.
No.
But
he cuts the guy.
Yeah, but he doesn't, like, really harm him.
Yeah.
But he scares him.
Yeah.
And in a way that, like, that Jiwoo that we met like in the first episode would have never done.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think that like I would have liked for even for me as a fan to have just seen a little bit of that arc a little better because practically so they open and it's like him screaming and dying and then it's like then they do the song and there's a little bit of talking and then he's like super Chad already.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of like, okay, well, I mean, I'm glad I can't imagine like if I brought somebody who had never seen Solo Leveling to this and they watch it, they'd be like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't know, man. Sorry.
Yeah, and again, we're not asking for episode 6.5. We're just asking for like a better, more cohesive recap.
I mean, what they should have done is never put out episode 6.5
That's true.
and taken the edit of 6.5 and attach that to the top of this film.
Valid. Yeah.
And then it wouldn't have fallen off so hard because this show came in with so much inertia and fell off so hard because of one dumb episode.
Yeah.
And two, their damn movie would have made more sense.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I think I mentioned this earlier, but the things that they do show, the pieces that they have, they specifically chose them because they have something to do with episodes 1 and 2 of season 2.
They do.
So they really do play into the new episodes that they show. And so I get it. I like that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
And it really it was a good reminder of those things, having seen the first season, I didn't forget anything, but at the same time, I wasn't exactly thinking. We've watched so many anime. I have not been thinking about Solo Leveling. So when each part came up, the minute it would pop up and be like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. I remember this scene. Cool. I remember this. Yeah. And so I know what was going to happen, but I'd still be excited for it. But but then, so they have that, and then it gets to the start of season 2, and I'll just say season 2 starts off with a bang.
It's awesome.
I think people will be excited about Solo Leveling again when they start season 2.
This movie's awesome.
Yes.
Because it's
it looks so good on the big screen.
You get the best bits from season 1 and you get these first 2 episodes of season 2, which are if you were like us and you were pumped for the finale of one, they really just go for it. They do a really good job of really milking sort of the end of season 1 where he does that special mission and he ends up fighting the Red Knight, Egress, and then ends up defeating all the knights and then getting his necromancer power, so that when we get into season 2 we can already sort of see how those powers are developing, because that was such an exciting finale for season 1.
It was.
It's oh my gosh, he's got this whole new brand new power, and what does this mean, and how is his character changing, and I'm so stoked about these first 2 episodes.
Yeah, they were really good. Again, it all looks so good on the big screen. We watched the dub version. I don't even know if they're doing a sub version in theaters.
I don't
think they are.
I think
it's just the dub version, which we're not used to. But honestly, I gotta give them credit. It's a really good dub job.
It is.
We're definitely used to the Japanese voices.
Yeah.
But they really have a good dub team.
Yeah, I think the guy who plays Jiwoo especially, I thought he was really good. I guess he's the voice of Zenitsu in the dub, which we haven't seen, but he's also the voice of the main hero of Persona 3, which we've been playing a lot of, so maybe I just recognize Nekomata, Ravish him. I really liked just kind of going into these first 2 episodes without spoiling anything. We start off and it's actually cute. He has a little makeover, he's got a different haircut this season. He has to go to his sister's high school,
a parent-teacher conference. Yeah, he's her guardian at this point.
Yeah, they have this girl there that she's an E rank also and wants to be a hunter.
But she was also friends with his sister in high school.
So he decides to take her to a dungeon so that he can show her that this kind of sucks. Yeah. Maybe you should find another job.
And they're not there to fight. They're just there to observe, because it's a lower dungeon. It's not supposed to be a super super scary.
It's
super
a C rank. Yeah. It's a C rank dungeon, but they have an A rank guy going in and a few C and D rank. Mm-hmm. So they're just there, like you said, to observe. But it's an anime. Yeah. So of course they go in and all of a sudden it becomes a Red Gate. Mm-hmm. And then calamity ensues. But The red gate's really cool. It's like a totally different type of gate they've never been before. The fights are awesome. The whole thing that goes on in there is like really dope.
Yeah.
And just like seeing how his powers are changing and how he's utilizing his new powers, I was like really into it. I was like really into it.
Now, if you haven't watched Solo Leveling season 1 since it aired, honestly, it's especially good to I think see this movie because I think it reminds you of all of the right things.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're a fan of it, or if honestly, even if you stopped after 6.5 because you were so mad at it, you can pick up with ReAwakening and like you'll get a good enough sense of the second half that like. You know.
It just goes to show, like, how fickle an audience is. You can't miss.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be great.
I think the biggest part of the fail was that they didn't warn people.
No.
The people were expecting a new episode. And instead, here's a recap of the first 6 episodes. And people were like, I've been loving this show. And now, like you've totally stopped my momentum.
Well, it's when the money people are making decisions and not the creatives. Because, like, when, like... It's the same with video games. Like, every time they're like, we need more time, people are like, okay.
Yeah.
But when they push it to market too soon and it's broken, look at Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, now people are like, this is a great game.
Yeah.
But, like, it was broken when it came out. And, like, same thing with, like, Oda, right? Like, for One Piece, every time he's like, I need to take a medical break, but I'll only be gone for 2 weeks. So everyone's like, take more time, dude. We want you to be okay. It would have been better for them to just skip a week and be like, sorry, it's not ready.
Yeah.
And people would have been a little bummed.
Or if the point was to get more of an audience in, like, get people like that might not have really been watching it to get into it, like, then put that out, but put it on the same day that you're putting out a new episode.
Exactly. I think it's important to bring it up because, I think the show came in, like, so hot. Like, everyone was like, this is going to be the best anime of 2024, right? But I really do think like that hurt it.
I think it fell off a lot because of that. But it was still a good first season, and really watching ReAwakening was just a reminder of how good of a first season it was.
Yeah.
But season 2, like however you felt by the end of season 1, season 2, I really like. I think you'll get back into it for those first episodes.
I think so too. And I also think like I really love this sort of thing we're doing recently where the hero slowly descending into darkness trope. Eren from Attack on Titan is obviously like the most recent that you can point to as a defining version of this, but I really like what they're doing in Solo Leveling. I really like how his character's changing. I really like how the world develops. I like that they're continuing with this idea of the S-rank hunter who's coming after him because his brother was the guy that was basically trapping and murdering people. I love that we're going to meet more of the S and A rank heroes in the association. It's getting really exciting.
But also, what's going on with the system?
Yeah.
Like, what even is the system? Because, and I think they're exploring that more, too. At least, that they seem to be leading to they're going to be exploring more of that in the second season.
Yeah.
I feel like part of the reason, though, that the sister is she's not a giantly predominant part, but she's enough of a predominant part. I feel like she's gonna be the his grounding thing that's gonna keep him from going
full dark.
I think like between and I think her friend the other E rank is sort of gonna also help to like keep him human. I think the healer girl that he had been friends with in in his own high school days or whatever, like I think she's gonna help. I think the guy who lost an arm in the double dungeon. I think all of these people that have been good influences on him are gonna keep him from going over the edge.
It's really funny. This movie, the recap was almost like if someone just chunked together the coolest moments of Solo Leveling for a YouTube video.
Yeah, totally.
Like that's what this is. Because it's just like the 4 like dopest moments of season 1.
Yeah, it's totally worth seeing if you liked season 1, even if you felt like let down by the end of season 1, totally worth seeing ReAwakening, and like getting those first 2 episodes, and if you don't end up seeing it, be excited for the beginning of season 2.
I think this movie's worth it because I don't exactly know. I'll put here somewhere. I don't know when season 2 starts.
If we find out, you can put a little thing.
Yeah. Well, it's in theaters, so
Arise.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is a good question?
Did you watch all through season 1 and what did you think?
Yeah. Did you like season 1? Let us know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe, and Thanks.